time is running out as the catastrophe worsens in the Gaza Strip. The head of the World Health Organization has warned that halting funding to the UN Refugee Agency UNRWA will have terrible consequences for the people in war-torn Gaza. The United States and several European countries have announced the suspension of funding for the agency after Israel accused several employees of the UN agency of suspected involvement in the Hamas attack.
Our teams on the ground report increasing food shortages for medical staff and patients with only one meal per day. The risk of famine is high and increasing each day with persistent hostilities and restricted humanitarian access. Every person our teams talk to asks for food and water.
I think the main takeaway from the report is that the level of destruction that we're witnessing in Gaza is unprecedented, and it's going to take a lot of efforts from the international community to start with for the rebuilding and recovery in Gaza.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the UN Palestinian Refugee Agency must be shut down.
South Africa had the temerity to bring us to the ICJ, charging us with genocide against, really in the service of a genocidal organization. Now, the worst thing that I can say is this, that many of the charges, false and unfounded, that were leveled against us in The Hague were brought by UNRWA officials. And we have discovered in the last few weeks that UNRWA officials were complicit in the massacre.
People in Gaza have become more reliant on UNRWA aid, including about 1 million who have fled Israeli bombardments to seek shelter in its facilities. South African International Relations and Cooperation Minister Dr. Naledi Pandor says they are concerned about the current situation.
The attacks on hospital facilities totally go against the grain of the ICJ ruling. But all public service institutions have been attacked in the course of this war in Gaza. And it's something that again offends the provisions of the Genocide Convention. Because if you destroy hospitals, you're saying injured people must get no help. That people who need medical treatment must not have it. So essentially you're sentencing people to death by virtue of your activities. And the shocking thing of the hospital attack was going in dressed as though you are medical personnel, and yet you have murderous intent. As we said in our case, the years that we've had of great concern about the atrocious experience of people of Jewish extraction under the Holocaust allowed a condition of impunity to develop, that whatever Israel does, we cannot quarrel with it. We need to change this attitude.
The Gaza Health Ministry says at least 27,000 Palestinians have been killed and another 66,000 injured in Israeli strikes on Gaza since October 7th last year. Khayelihle, Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.